Good morning. We'll begin in about 1 minute.
Join with me in consciousness as we spend the next 15 minutes together in meditation. Allow the words that I speak to be the words of your own heart. Relax and breathe into the moment and know that you are safe. Wake up and live. Set your sights high. The higher, the better. Expect the most wonderful things to happen, not in the future, but right now. Realize that nothing is too good. Allow absolutely nothing to hamper you or hold you up in any way. It is all available for you right now. Be enthusiastic about life. It is a wonderful life. Make it so by your enthusiasm. So I will continue speaking in the first person. As I breathe and relax into this moment, I recognize there is only one divine essence that permeates all things seen and unseen. It is the field of pure potentiality. Some call it God, the universe, all that is. Join with me for the next 15 minutes. Today I choose to wake up and live. Today I set my sights high, higher than ever before. I expect the most wonderful things to happen. Right now, not in the future, right now. I realize that nothing is too good. I allow absolutely nothing to hamper me or hold me up in any way. I know I am a free agent in the universe. I am enthusiastic about life. It is a wonderful life. I make it so by my enthusiasm. I learn to be very clear and definite about what I desire in life. I choose to be clear and definite. I can do all things. I can be all things. When I have faith and trust in my connection to Spirit, all things are possible for me. I have confidence in my ability to do all things, because I am drawing from the substance that is God. God is all of me. God is my all and all. Today I stride forward with a firm, steady step, knowing with a deep, certain inner knowing that I reach every goal I set for myself. I see it happening every day. I achieve every aim. I start doing this today. I choose to do it today. Procrastination is for others, not for me. I get things done. I choose to be clear rather than vague. I choose to know rather than hope. I know that today change occurs because I choose to allow it. I know everything falls into place for me. I choose to live a full and glorious life. There's nothing vague about my intentions. So in this moment, I take positive action. I start the wheels turning. I know that once I do my part and set my intention, that I receive help, all the help I need. That's when it begins, when I choose. I know that Spirit helps me through me. Today I choose. Something is happening because I am taking action. I am ready to soar to greater heights. My heart is filled with praise and thanksgiving. But like a tiny bird, I have to take off from the ground. I have to make that special effort. It is easy for me, for I have everything I need. It is a joyous, light-hearted effort. It is a graceful effort. And as I lift off the ground, like that little bird, I can go as high as I choose in complete freedom. I choose to take action to change my life today. When I have a desire, I know I can achieve it. I know it already exists in the mind of God. I choose to allow it in. I hear the universe say yes to me, and I say yes to it. I know everything is possible with God. The takeoff of an airplane from the ground demands a special boost of power. When I go within, I receive my special boost of power, and I am on my way. There is no greater power than the power of Spirit, and I am always connected. It is available to me at any time. It is always available to me. Today I choose to draw from it. I am ready, and I know how to use it correctly. It is always unfolding for my highest and best. And I am ready now. I am surrounded by beauty everywhere. I open my eyes and see it, and give constant thanks for it. I allow these things of beauty to transform me and inspire me, always transforming me to my highest and best. Beauty draws the very best out of me and unites me with Spirit. The beauty that is within me goes beyond just me. It is everywhere present all the time. Beauty is Spirit. I allow the beauty that is me to shine forth. I fill my heart and my mind with beautiful thoughts, for I am beauty. Today I choose to look for the beautiful things all around me. I choose to see beauty in everything. And when I look deep enough and long enough, I see it in me as well. I rise above the illusions of life, and through my eyes looking for beauty, I am able to transform all the illusions. I know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I know it is also deep within me. I go forth this day determined to see beauty in everyone and everything. It's unfolding for me now. Love and beauty go hand in hand. I let the universal love flow in and through every aspect of my being. I feel it bringing unity and oneness to all my experiences, to all my thoughts. As I open my heart, the love keeps flowing. And the more I love, the more there is to love. I know the words love one another, and I know it begins with me. I know, despite appearances, everyone is one with God. Today I know this to be the truth, and I see through the eyes of love. Universal love flows freely. It does not pick and choose who is going to be loved. Everyone is loved, for everyone is love. Universal love is the same for everyone. It is within me and within everyone else as well. I am filled to the brim with this wondrous love. Today I choose to be aware of the love that I am. I choose to be aware of the friendly universe that I live in. I choose to recognize how I am fully supported by this love. Today I open up and I accept my love. I accept that I am loved by the universe. I choose to be open and expressive of this love and compassion. It is beyond my personality. It is the highest and best of me. Divine love is not possessive or stifling. It is open and expansive. Today I am open and expansive. Today I am open to demonstrate my love to everyone I meet. I know that love is the greatest uniting factor in the universe. So today I choose to love, love, love. So it is in this moment that I raise my consciousness to the true awareness and understanding that I am one with all that is. I am so grateful for this knowledge, so grateful for this allowing, and so thankful for my life. And it is with an open, humble heart that I release the how to the universe. And so it is.
say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center in Hamilton. So, as you see, Reverend Ann has decided that we are to look through the eyes of love, see the world with pink-colored glass, it's rose-colored glasses, and it is very interesting, I will say. So a lot of people here are wearing them. It does change your view of how you see the world. And I can even read with them on. Look at that. So I'm so happy to be here today. My name is Reverend Pat. I'm a retired Unity minister. And if you're here for the first time online, please send us a note and we will, do we have something to send? We have something to send you if you let us know that you're here. So put a note in the chat or in email. One of the things we are is a tithing community, which means that we give back 10% of everything we receive to the communities. The first one that we give to every month is to Unity Canada to support Unity communities in Canada. And the other one changes according to which quarter it is. And right now we're supporting Food for Kids here in Hamilton, which is a wonderful charity that provides food for kids on the weekends and holidays when they won't be getting it at school. So now it's time for the kids. Yay, kids, come on. Yay, kids. Come on up and sing the song. Oh, the other two will be here. All right. Oh, careful, sweetie. All right. Let us sing. I am what I am. Okay.
Okay. Can we play this on press play? Press play for I Am Who I Am, please.
All right. Sing it a cappella.
Okay.
Oh, he's moved it to opening prayer. Now they're going to back it up. Okay. It's probably a white arrow on the left that you can't see.
On the bottom.
Yeah, on the bottom.
White arrow
Right in the middle.
on the bottom.
Okay, because otherwise the video is not going to play.
Okay, the song's not there, so we're gonna do it.
A cappella. I don't remember all the words.
Do you remember all the words?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. I am who I am. I am who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am. I have all I need here inside of me. I start each new day and I remember to say, I am who I am. I am who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am. Do you remember that? I am who I am. I am who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I just am who I am. I am who I am. I am who I am.
Good. Okay, we'll see you later. Oh, here.
Could you, I think the batteries are okay. Ask them to move it to the next slide, please. And you can bring me some batteries. Okay. As you can see, I'm wearing my rose-colored glasses just to remind me and you that how we look at life is how we experience life. So my name is Reverend Anna Hokangas, and I have a little bit of laryngitis today, which I will tell you about later on today, if you hang on. But let's get centered in spirit right now. I know that as I relax and I get quiet, I remember that at the core of my being is the universe, is the infinite, is the source of all things. It is the source of who I am. It essentially is who I am. For I am the hands and feet, the mind, the human being. And I know that I direct, I initiate, I author my life through all my thoughts, my feelings, and deep-held beliefs. And I know that as things occur in my life, I get an opportunity to look at what was my thinking to bring this about. And so with a grateful heart, I let go and I let it be so. Please join with me in affirming. And so it is. See, and now it's working.
Okay. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. Sing with me. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. Please join me in singing. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where peace comes in. One step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where peace comes in. One step at a time. One breath at a time. Breath at a time. One breath at a time. Breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One breath at a time.
Wow. That's just so amazing, because you can't live on the breath you took before, the breath you're going to take, just this breath right here, right now. That's so soothing and reminding us. Thanks so much, Emilio. So now it's time for us to hear the Absolute Word by Paul Hasselbeck. The word is vitalized. I am divine life, whole, strong, and full of vitality. Now we've been breathing. Now we nature in its summer splendor invites me to rest and rejuvenate. Cats and dogs bask in the sunlight. Oh my gosh, this week it was so funny, because Gracie's sitting on the sofa in the sun and she's going panting. I said, what? Like, I guess she was enjoying it, but she could have moved like 2 feet. She would have been in. Anyway, a gentle breeze carries the scent of flowers. Oh, the magnolias. Oh, beautiful. The sunset provides a moment of splendor at the end of each day. I follow cues I perceive in nature. I invest time to relax and rejuvenate. I find a quiet place to reflect on my divinity. Perhaps I sit on a rock near the water, a park bench, or on my patio. I settle into meditation. I breathe in the fresh air and let go of any worries. Aligning with my spiritual nature renews me with each breath. I open myself to fresh perspectives. Mindful to maintain balance in my life, I devote myself to rest and rejuvenation. I am divine life, whole, strong, full of vitality, and so it is. Thank you.
So I thank God for everything behind me, and I thank God for everything before me. Let's do it. I am new today. I am new this moment, and I thank you, God, for everything before me. I am new today. I am new this moment, and I thank you, God, for everything before me. I am new today. I am new. So I thank God for everything behind me and before me. And now I thank God for everything within me. Here we go. I am new today. I am new this moment. And I thank you, God, for everything within me. I am new today. I am new this moment, and I thank you, God, for everything within me. I am new today. I am new today. I am new today. I am new.
Today, can you tell what we're talking about? Being new, renewing my potential. And I'd like to look at how to cultivate continuous growth and renewal in your life, and that every obstacle is a chance for growth. And I'd like to share this laryngitis business. as in not give it to you, but because you don't have to take it. The whole idea that nothing happens to us individually in a vacuum. And I was doing my internet searching like I do for my talk, and the thought of this person that I had known when I was living in the north came to mind, and I thought, well, I will Google this person and see if I can find them. And he was quite a good friend of mine for a number of years, but we just moved in separate directions and didn't get to see this person anymore. And I saw his obituary, and he had died in 2022. And immediately after that, I got runny nose, runny eyes, and laryngitis. And I didn't realize that thinking about this person's passing would affect me that way, because I didn't on the surface feel as though I reacted other than shock. But really the laryngitis bit was I had no words for that realization. And not that I was sad, because I don't believe that death is a sad thing, but I was just thinking that this person was 5 years younger than me and had lived, quite a good life, and could have lived an even longer life, I suppose. But his soul decided to make his transition. But it made me become, which death does for me, become introspective about what is limiting me and my potential right now. And the only thing that is me. And so again, just like every time I do a talk, the talk reveals itself in my life. So renewing my potential. So is it time to accept things that you cannot change and focus on what you can control? Was the question that came to mind. And what do you think? Are you ready to accept the things that you can't change and focus on what you can control? Another word for it maybe is manage. So what can you control? Yourself, your thoughts, your reaction, your response. And sometimes it's only once you've had the response, like my laryngitis response, is when you can realize that you've had a response that perhaps isn't the healthiest response to have. Or not even so much the healthiest, but why is it happening? What am I being given the opportunity to think about? And so the moment that you think you have to fix something, know that you're out of alignment. And so many people say, oh, I better write a prayer request because I need to fix this. Or I better fix this because it's a problem. And I'm not talking about plumbing or things like that. I'm talking about our thoughts, our life, our emotions, our feelings. Because what do you focus on when you think you have to fix it? That something's broken, that it's a problem. And actually what you do is you exacerbate it, make it larger, make it more than it actually is, which is just a moment in time or something changing and shifting. So I'd like to look at three things: perception, and hence the rose-colored glasses, fasting, and right action. And let's start with perception. So there are two reasons to reinvent yourself. You've either been climbing the wrong ladder, or the ladder seems impossible to reach. And I think when you can think of two reasons, there are probably thousands. But those are certainly good ones. Have you ever felt as though you've come to the realization that, geez, I've been climbing the wrong ladder all along? Or maybe the thing that you really want seems impossible, and that's the problem, is how do I get it to not be impossible? Because if in spirituality I'm taught that If I have a desire, it means that there's the answer for it too. Then what am I doing to get in my way? So being in the flow, which we're talking about all year, is a state of consciousness where you perform and feel your best. Now, how much of a day can you say, based on that definition, are you in the flow? 50%? 80%? Only when you're sleeping? Maybe not even then. It's an interesting gauge, isn't it? Because I more than not feel pretty good about my day and most of my day, unless I let certain things in and then I can go down that rabbit hole. Would you say that you're the same? So there's a great book by David Hawkins called Healing and Recovery. He wrote Power versus Force, and he was the grandfather for muscle testing, for those of you that understand what muscle testing is. And that is that your body is either depleted of its energy or revitalized based on an idea. And so if you have certain feelings, they are enhancing of your life and they rate higher on the scale. And if you're feeling negative feelings or depression or sadness, that then your energy is lower. Now my energy went lower, and so as a consequence, my immunities weren't as strong as they would have been, and so I received a virus and it said, hey, I'll help you with that feeling. And that's really as simple as it works. Now you can't really see these, and I couldn't give you a handout because they're part of his book, and you need to get his book if you want to get them. But at the high end of the scale, you know, you're knowing that you're peace, you're knowing bliss, you're knowing serenity, you have reverence for life, you have an understanding of how things work. And anything below 200, which is at the low end of that, even affirmations are just at 200, which isn't a high vibration, because an affirmation is still me trying to convince myself that it's true. So I'm not totally knowing yet. And on the lower end of the scale, things like scorn, hate, pride, anger, desire even, because you don't have it if you're in that state of I want it, I need it. Feeling grief, apathy, hatred, guilt, shame. Any of those at a lower vibration mean that you're not excuse me, you're not connecting with the higher vibration that you are. And so as a consequence, you perpetuate that. So how do we move from that? So we have the ability to be anything we want, to create anything that we want. And why is that? And some people are hearing this and going, yeah, but you know, my life isn't that. I'm not experiencing that. The thing is that within each of us is the infinite possibility. And are we, any of us that you know anyways, able to tap into that 100%? Probably not. But you can to certain degrees. And so you can achieve whatever it is that you are wanting to achieve in the feeling of it rather than the physical manifestation of it. Do you know the difference between those two? So regeneration is a spiritual principle that emphasizes the continuous cycle and renewal and growth. And there is something to be said for being a being that is constantly regenerating. Because your past, whatever you thought about, whatever you created to this moment, you can recreate something new because you have that capacity to do that. So you are not stuck with anything that might even be a negative experience. So can you see every ending as a new beginning? And sometimes that takes a while to say, oh, okay, well, I guess I need to let that go for something new to come in. And that every challenge and obstacle can be an opportunity. To fully embrace this idea of regenerativity is to shift your consciousness towards this is for me. So my laryngitis, my runny eyes, this is for me. I had an opportunity to grieve somebody that I didn't know had passed. So that's for me. I need to let that go. I needed to have memories of all of the wonderful things that we did together and how I am different as a consequence of that person. And yet someone else would say, oh, poor you, you've got a snotty nose and laryngitis. But no, there was a gift in all of this. So you can choose the consciousness of compassion and lovingness. And that's hence the idea of the symbol of rose-colored glasses, is you can choose to know that you live in spirit, and spirit is loving, and spirit is supporting, and spirit is right where you are and knows who you are and knows your heart. And when you live in that knowingness, not the belief, the knowingness of that, then nothing will take you down. Everything is just another opportunity. So you can make a commitment to lovingness as a way of being, and it requires no belief in God or religion. I want you to hear that. You don't have to be believing in God or in any form of religion. You just need to recognize that love is where you live. Love is who you are. And that this too is good somehow. Love or lovingness naturally nurtures and supports life in all its expressions. And so I'm here to gently remind you that when it doesn't feel as though life is quite so loving, it's because you've forgotten to let it in, because it's already here in some form, some way, to recognize that you don't need it from outside of yourself. It's right where you are. So when you're vibrating from lovingness, you see divinity in all things. And no matter what anybody does, it's not so bad. I see things like when someone behaves badly, I wonder what brought them to this moment. Must have been horrible. And how can I be loving and be sunshine for them right now? And it moves you up to an even higher level where you can begin to see the perfection of all of life. See, we don't know what each soul wants. We don't know the experiences that they need to experience to feel themselves fully connected. So to feel sorry for someone or sad, you're going to the level that they're at, and how can you pick them up if you're there? Unless the going down is to reach your hand down to help them up. And that's the difference. So compassion is a way of knowing and looking into the hearts of others. The separation between yourself and the individual and another starts to disappear. I was thinking about another man that I knew who, in all the years that I've known him, has never had a relationship with someone that was willing to be committed to him fully. He was very committed in each one of these relationships, but they were not. And as I looked back in my own introspection about that, I was reminded of a story of a girl who was now an adult. And if I could remember where the source is, I would tell you, but I can't. But she basically said she came to the understanding that all her life she thought that she would be abandoned by men. And so she never, ever made the relationship something that would be long-term, because in her consciousness, she felt she'd be abandoned. And she didn't know where that had come from until she sat quietly in meditation and realized that her very best friend lived next door when she was a kid. And it was a boy. And she had thought in her mind that one day they would marry and have a house and the things that kids do. And in the middle of the night, they moved out of their home, this boy and his family, and moved away, unbeknownst to her what the reasons were. But she was left as this child thinking that anyone that she really, really loves is going to eventually abandon her. And so her whole life was this string of relationships that were not long-term. And it could have been Pam Grout, perhaps, one of the authors that I read that talked about that. So I thought about this man that I know and the non-commitment type of partners that he picked. And his very first love was someone who ended up having an affair on the side with his best friend. And so as a consequence, his next relationships were pretty frivolous. And then there was one that was quite long-term, but with a married woman who just wanted to have fun on the side. And that went on for 15 years until she no longer wanted to do the things that they did together. And even currently, the partnership that he has, he chose someone who's just had her husband die. And she's not ready for a commitment. She doesn't even know what she wants out of life. And he's giving it all, and she's saying, well, I don't know if I want this. And I see that same thread of the idea that he doesn't deserve or she doesn't deserve love because it's too scary or too dangerous. So when you have a repeated thing happening in your life, it comes from somewhere, and you don't necessarily need to know what that is, but you do need to know, how would you choose to feel instead? What does, let's say we talk relationships, what does a good relationship look like and feel like for you? And know that because you get clear on that, then that's actually what's going to show up. Not the scary what if relationship that in your subconscious mind you've been attracting to you. Does that make sense? So it's the beginning of a oneness of the heart when you have compassion. And that compassion starts with yourself. Like when you can be loving to yourself and say, you know, I may have used words like I'm such an idiot or I'm whatever because this keeps happening. To be kind and say, for some reason, I've decided to do this over and over again until I learn the lesson. And what is that lesson? Only you know what that is. And you need to know it, not just think it. So how can you become, and again, I'll use relationship as an example, how can you embody that relationship? What does that look like? So maybe it means, if you're really wanting to be heard, can you start to really listen to others? You know, and start to do it yourself. So it's not the removal of the clouds that causes the sun to shine. The whole purpose of spiritual work is to see beyond, release the clouds, so you can experience the light of the inner self. So I invite you, if you have challenges or negative thinking or any of those lower vibrational kind of things going on, to say to yourself, how can I elevate myself in this moment? What brings me joy? So who you are being is so powerful that it dominates your perception. And it also attracts to you exactly who you're being. So who you are being, your thoughts, your fears, your expectations, your loves, affect how you see the world. Again, the rose-colored glasses. And I could have had two pairs, a real dark pair and this one, as a combination. And we can flip back and forth from one to the other. I mean, that's totally normal. I had it on my nose, and because they're so cheap, the sharp plastic was cutting my nose, so I'm not going to wear them. I'll just, you know that I see through rose-colored glasses. So your life experience is actually just a mirror. And all you experience is your own energy field reflected back to you as perception and experiencing. And that is a big pill to swallow. People say, how come there aren't more people coming to Unity? And I say to them, there are a lot of people that really would like their life to change, but they're not willing to take the personal responsibility that's required to make that change, because the only place that you can change is within you. There are a lot of people out there who are looking for someone to fix them, some book to fix them, some movie to fix them, some other person to complete them, to fix them. And the thing is that until you are, it ain't going to happen. And that's not such an attractive spiritual journey for a lot of people. There are many, and we had the Pope pass this past week, and in the Catholic tradition, you could go to the church and you could be absolved of all of your stuff. So you could go back and start again this week, because someone else was taking that power that you have for yourself away from you. You were giving it to them. And the thing is that they can't do that for you. Only you can do that for you. Only you can let yourself off the hook. And there's nothing wrong with people going to someone to say, well, you're absolved and you can start again, if that works for them. But it certainly doesn't work for me, because how can someone else all of a sudden make me free? They can't. So who you are being is projected into the field of life, a neutral field that says yes to your fears, only in your mind, because it's not really happening. Because it can shift the moment you change your mind. Have you ever had a moment, and I'm sure that you have, where 1 minute you're just bawling your eyes out because of something, and then some funny thought occurs, and all of a sudden you're lifted out of that and you're feeling totally different? We are so able to shift if you choose to. That's the key. So fasting from the old way of being. But what really prompted this was there is this real trend for dopamine fasting. This idea that we get a rush from certain things, and that if we stop doing that thing that we get a rush from, that we will somehow be better. So chocolate fasting, greasy food fasting, internet fasting, all of those things. But the problem with that is that you're trying to move away from something, you're trying to fix something, and what are you doing? You're taking it with you. So let's say you do a fast of, your favorite thing is chocolate, and you do a fast for a whole week of no chocolate, and you normally have it every day. Well, on day 7 or day 8, guess what? You'll probably eat the whole box. So did that fasting really work? No, because it's a way of thinking. And what's underneath that desire to overindulge in chocolate? That's where you need to go. That's where you need to ask yourself, is this a way of soothing myself? I mean, I learned very early on that my grandmother, who was a wonderful woman, would make me homemade French fries for lunch. And they were usually a special occasion, because that was a big job, to peel them all, cut them all, deep fry them. But whenever I was exceptionally sad, which was usually the first few days that I was with her, because she lived 5 hours away from my family. And so I probably cried a lot, and well, where's my family? And so she'd make me French fries. And I was as happy as can be. Well, as I grew up, when I was feeling sad, what did I reach for? French fries. I didn't realize that I was correlating one to the other. Then it became chips, because then I didn't have to make French fries. And so now I recognize that when I want to have chips, what am I trying to soothe? So joy comes from savoring small moments. A funny conversation, noticing a bird, landing on your windowsill, or bumping into someone on the bus. And how often do you miss out on joy-filled opportunities because you're glued to your phone or distracted by your busy mind or planning ahead. I remember one time I saw someone I hadn't seen for a long time and I said, "How are you?" And I was busy going to a store and I really didn't have time to hear, "How are you?" And her house had just burned down the day before. Well, I was there for an hour and a half as she told me about this house burning, and I didn't end up getting to do any of the things that I wanted to do. And fortunately, I made the decision to say, just I'm going to be here and I'm going to hear her out. But the thing is that how often are we so busy that we miss out? Like I could have just said and kept going and missed that opportunity. And sometimes if I'm really busy, I might say, "It's nice to see you," because I don't have time to talk. But I'm much more deliberate about my life. So fasting from your worn out, self-defeating thoughts, condemnation, anxiety, worry, and fear are all about becoming aware, being deliberate in all that you do so that you can make some really great decisions. And I know that you've heard all of this before, but maybe it's time you heard it again. So it comes from embracing lovingness, that as a way of thinking. And another word for lovingness is thoughtfulness or consideration. So how can you slow down enough to be loving enough to yourself and to everyone that you encounter? Because is it really that big a hurry? Other than, let's say, something like this broadcast where we have to start at 10 o'clock. But most of life has a fair bit of flexibility. So where are you in all of this? Let's take an assessment. So are you neutral, where the world is okay? It's an easygoing view of the world and begins with, well, that's human nature and that's the way it is. It's serving some kind of ultimate purpose. Or are you in willingness, which is a slightly higher vibration, experiencing the world as friendly? You walk down the street, you see friendliness everywhere. The universe is friendly no matter what you have. The world is harmonious and supportive. Or maybe the next level up in vibration, acceptance, when you really begin to experience the harmony of life and discover synchronicity and how everything just sort of flows together, where you start to see more of the mosaic. Or maybe you're in enthusiasm and lovingness, the experience of endless loving support and endless presence of a loving universe. I'm there quite a bit of the time, but it's taken work to get there. And some days are harder than others. Or maybe you're in a state of illumination, which is getting way up there, seeing the incredible beauty and perfection of life, the absolute perfection of creation, the actual experience of the divine essence and the nature of all life, and just the beauty everywhere. That comes in certain places for me. Does it for you? And in other places I forget, like driving in traffic. Unless I'm listening to Karen Drucker. It is possible to have experiences of incredible perfection and beauty and to see life as unfolding and to not see imperfection but process. That nothing's carved in stone and that you can change your mind and your reality will begin to change. So Sandy Mann said, it's a very important process for us to learn to manage our boredom and not look for external ways to get rid of it. So that's another reason why we need a fasting sometimes. It's like boredom's bad. But what is boredom really? Are you just kind of saying, hey, you should be doing more? And I don't have anything to do or nothing excites me? Well, maybe it's not supposed to be exciting. So a dopamine fast is focusing on what you don't want, which results in even more of a desire for it. So what's the right action? Choosing to be a person in lovingness, experiencing Source as unconditional love, and know that happiness comes from that place. And happiness is already within you. So when you choose to see through rose-colored glasses and feel like you live in a loving universe, then happiness just naturally bubbles up. So as you move into joy, the awareness of beauty and perfection, the divine essence of all things within oneness, and the unity of God transforms your life. You know, it's like nothing is good or bad. It's an experience. And this does pass, and something new will come along, unless you keep your focus there. And then you're going to see it everywhere. So as a student of spiritual work, you have knowledge about spiritual matters, and you're putting the principles into practice. I know you are, because I see you every time I see you. And you're perfecting the capacity to love, moving away from the world of havingness, things, and status. Some are in the world of doingness, wanting to know what others do in the world and what's their position and function. And I was there at some point in my life. And do you seek people out because of what they are rather than what they have or do? Because that gives you kind of a clue of how much more easygoing you might be. I've known people for many years and never actually knew what they did. I mean, in the hair business, and I was in that for 40 years, I would just let people tell me what they wanted me to know rather than what I wanted to know, because they were there for them. And so I still think about that when I'm with people. I'm there for you. So what is it that you need from me as a support? And maybe it's to just love you. The way to regenerate yourself is to stop taking a right or wrong position, which is a form of resistance, and instead view life with loving compassion. Look at your humanness from the viewpoint of forgiveness and compassion so you can love it. And there was a time earlier on in my spiritual journey where if I got laryngitis, I'd beat myself up and say, you know, you're not doing very well on that spiritual journey if you lost your voice. That's not being loving and compassionate. What I needed to do was to look at myself and say, I'm a human being reacting to thoughts and feelings, and this is my reaction. So see the greatness within you, because it's there, so that you can begin to heal your misperceptions. And what you forgive in others is forgiven within you and disappears. What is forgiveness? And as your perception of the world begins to shift, you begin to experience a world that is totally different, full of amazing possibilities. Like, I'm not fretting about the election because I know the right and perfect people are going to be put in the positions that they need to be put in to create the world in the next stage of what's happening. And it's like putting on a different pair of colored glasses when you start to see the world that way. To know that I may not know how it's going to unfold, I may not know how it's going to affect everybody, but I choose to be at peace in this moment and move forward. So what's your spiritual work? Has anything come up? And do you have a different perspective as a consequence of what we've talked about today? So what messages are you reinforcing? And what do you think, what you think about becomes your reality? Because wherever you go, there you are. So the same things are going to occur no matter where you go, unless you change. So rather than pushing something away or making it bad, make deliberate choices. And I love this. I learned it from the Reverend Dr. J. Scott Neal. God, life, doesn't know what's going to happen until you make up your mind. I'm not God's puppet. God responds to who I'm being. So we looked at perception. How are you seeing the world? Fasting. And it can be good depending on how you approach it. And what's the right action for you today? And then get out of the way.
Running around fixing this and that, giving it to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do its thing. Look like the weight of the world's on your back. Just take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change what is if you wanted to. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do its thing. Shine and the river's gonna flow. The tide's gonna rise without your say-so. The universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't plant a seed and dig it up to see if it's grown. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do its thing.
Your takeaway today, there was a lot there. There always is so much. You know, we need to have those questions up again, and so people can kind of like, yeah, it goes by so fast. Oh, where's the microphones? Oh, they aren't plugged in. Are they plugged? Okay. So who'd like to share? Anybody? Oh, yay.
Before I forget.
Okay, good.
So when I was young, I thought this is kind of common with a lot of us. We're on schedules. And I got to do this, and I got to get home, and I got to get supper on, I got to take care of the baby, and blah, 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 blah. Pick up the child. Now I'm old. And I thank God that I am, because a lot of people probably crossed over when they were younger on a schedule. And now I'm not on a schedule, because I'm retired. I must tell people that daily. No, it's okay, I'm retired. You know, they'll say in a grocery store, you go ahead, you only have a couple things, dear. And I say, no, I'm retired, it's okay. But back in the day, I would zip right through, right? So there's a lot to be said on getting old. A lot of people, and I don't know if I should say this in
The
church,
alternative.
bitch about it. But it has its bonuses because we're not on schedules. And we have the time. And I've said to people, if I don't have the time to do this, then I don't have the time for my day. And I say that openly to them. You go right ahead. It's fine. And so I'm getting a little more, I think I was always generous, but I'm getting a little more generous with my time. And I appreciate that. And I've been in the hair business, and I've been a bartender part-time. And I feel that I should have a psychiatry license.
Probably
So,
do, yes.
You know, it is a challenge, as Ann says. You know, they tell you all their business, and you're there for them. And it probably has been more of a benefit that I didn't realize at the time but now I do.
Thanks so much for sharing. That's wonderful. Wendy, anything online?
So Marcia is speaking up from home, and she said, "My life experience is just a mirror!" Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
Yes.
Exclamation point!
Yes, that was what struck out for me too. Thank you so much, Anne. Every time I come, it's like a serenity prayer talk. Accept the things you can't change and change the things you can, which is very limited. I just love it. I love hearing that over and over and over. But you say it in a different way every week. It's so amazing. I love the muscle testing thing. I love David Hawkins and his chart. And I remember when one time we had a group of us that got together to do it, and we would write things on a piece of paper, put it in the envelope. We didn't know which and somebody else. So you hold your arm out, and somebody pushes down to see how strong it is, and we would hold the envelope, and our arm would be straight or strong, and we wouldn't have any clue. Our subconscious knew what was on that envelope, because it was amazing how sometimes your arm's strong from that, and sometimes it just goes right down. So amazing. I remember my girlfriend was so disappointed because I was strong for Diet Coke. She was very upset about that. But just cleaning out the street, cleaning out all that stuff with the fasting to get rid of all the garbage that's keeping the fire trucks from going down. Just amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here, everybody, and thank you for your contributions. We do love to give consciously, to not just kind of throw it away and say this is going, but to give consciously, knowing that as we receive, so do we give. Yeah, as we give, so do we receive. So let's say the affirmation together. Divine love that I am blesses all I give and all I receive. Thank you, God. And don't forget to push the button to subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can have more and more people watching. So, are the kids you're going to sing first?
I'm not sure.
Let's let the kids come in. All right. Come on in, kids. Emilio's got a song to sing. You guys can sit there and listen to the song.
You can sing it with me.
You can sing it with me. The words are up there.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you just the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I'll help The change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. So I love myself just the way I am. Yes, I love myself just the way I am. You're beautiful and capable of being the best you can be. And I love you just the way you are. 'Cause I love myself just the way I am. So I love you just the way you are. And we can love the world just the way it is. Yes, I love myself just the way I am.
Can you stay up with your microphone? Kids, do you want to tell us what you did today? Anybody want to share? Or just want to show it to everybody? They're eggs. And nicely decorated too. Did you have fun? Yeah. Okay.
What's the word? What's the word today?
What's the word?
Joy.
Oh, down in my heart, I got the joy, 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 joy. Down in my heart, down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart, got the joy, 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 joy. Down in my heart, where? Down in my heart, where?
Very nice. So know that we are always here to pray with you. So send us a prayer request if you're online, or you can fill out a form here while you're here. Let's say the prayer for protection together. Kids, can you read that with us? The light of God surrounds you. I am the light. The love of God enfolds you. I am the love. The power of God protects you. I am the power. The presence of God watches over you. I am the presence. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well. And let's sing the peace song together.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Okay, so thank you everyone for watching at home, and thank you for coming out. And remember, I love you. Shall we all say this together to the people at home? I love you.